Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and I am super duper 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 excited again today to show you another project that involves a wildflower design plus vintage doilies, lace, those kind of things. And I'm going to show you my jeans. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. But let me just move the camera just a little bit and I'll show you that first. They turned out, if you ask me, pretty darn adorable. I was able to score some more lace so I could finish up the second leg. And let me see if I can just move this right here so that you can see. And I will get hubby to take some pictures because I know this is terrible. Anyways, they are super duper duper cute. I can't wait to wear them. I'm going to wear them to Bible study this coming week. And anyways, I put on my little cute little crochet top from Target, and I think it looks good together. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making a tote bag that has the same kind of feel, and we're going to be making an apron. I'm just going to get started on the apron, so I'll probably come live maybe tomorrow to jazz it up and finish it off. But these projects are awesome. They all involve this, which is part of a stencil that is called Grow Happy Thoughts. And these are like little wildflowers, which I've used on t-shirts. I used them on a jean jacket. I used it on this pretty little pillow wrap, my leg. That's a lovely, lovely view. I'm a delicate flower. So we're going to use it on the tote bag, and then we're going to use it on an apron. And the main special ingredient of this project are doilies that have cut up. Also wanted to show you this. This was a project we did a few weeks ago involving doilies. They were some little necklaces that I made. Now I would not wear this plus these jeans with the doilies on it because that's doily overload, but I think the top with this is pretty cute. Okay, so what did I do? Well, this is a tote bag from Magnolia, DIY.com. These are so nice. I've been using the same one for 2 years for Bible study that I did with a blue ombre look and some Bible verses. So before I came live, I just used some of this ink that is called Gray Owl. It's a great gray color, and my stencil. And I stenciled it, and we will embellish it in just a minute. I have all kinds of little doily bits cut out and ready to go. But I want to do the apron so it can be drying, and just because a lot of you have asked me, well, how do you actually do this stencil? So I'm going to show you. Okay, this is also from Magnolia, DIY.com, and it is an apron that is really, these are super nice. They wash and wear great. It has this kind of a little loop for the top, and then it has two ties at the waist. And before I came live earlier, I did the bottom of it. This one I opted to do in black ink. My jeans are in a color of ink called almond oil, and then the tote bag is gray. Anyway, so I did the bottom, and we'll embellish this with doilies. But I thought we would also do something at the top right here. So I'm just going to, and I've used this, I have used this stencil, gosh, a lot. Probably 25 times. It's really one of my favorites. So I'm going to use it one more time, and I'm just going to put it right here across the chest. If it was brand new, I would fuzz it a little bit. Maybe not, because this is fabric. But like I said, I've used it quite a bit. It's not super sticky anymore, but it still works just fine. And I want to get it straight. And I'm going to do this in black ink to match the bottom, and then we'll embellish it probably tomorrow. Okay, let me get a squeegee and a little stir. So this is black ink, which ink is what you need for this kind of a project. You do not want chalk paste because that is not going to stay. And you do not want paint because paint will ruin your stencil, it'll clog the holes up, and it dries crunchy, and it's just not comfortable and not nice to wear. So I just put some blobs on here. I have worked with aprons a lot, and I know that they're pretty thick. It's not likely going to go through the front to the back. But I'm going to basically push my ink through the holes on my stencil and then stop. That's the hardest part because I don't want too much ink to get pushed through and make everything look all smudgy. And so I have way too much ink here. I'm just going to get it on here, and then I will come back and pull off the globs. Make sure everything is covered. My ink back in here. Yes, I definitely had way too much. Okay. We will peek to make sure that I got everything covered. Okay. I think I did. And let me take a little peek. It looks great. This would be cute even without any doilies or anything being added to it. It's really cute. Okay, so let me throw this over here in my tub and I'll come show you my apron. My stencil just went into a tub of water so it can soak until I can get out to the kitchen. Isn't that cute? And with the bottom, until I can get out to the kitchen to wash it. So let me hang this over here. I don't want to bump it. And let's put our ink clear over here so we don't mess that up either. Okay, and let's come back to our tote bag. All right, so we are going to create a stacked bow to go on one corner, and then we're going to add some doilies and other embellishments. Kimberly says that she makes these bags for birthday bags for women in her church. That's so sweet. You know, I'm going to give this and the apron away, and some necklaces, and some garden flags, and some other things in the next week or so. So I like to make stuff and give it away too. Okay, so what am I using? Well, I had a friend send me some pretty doilies that her mother-in-law crocheted, I think, many years ago, and she had lots of them. So she didn't mind parting with a few, and I will use every single bit. But you can see that they have kind of like these medallions in them. And so I have just been very carefully snipping those off. And then I had some other pieces of doilies like this that I have been snipping apart as well. And this is what we're going to use on our flowers. And then we'll make a stacked bow for one corner. Okay, for this kind of a project, you want to use fabric glue, just in case you need to wash it, which, I mean, you probably won't, but just in case. It makes it washable. So, let me start laying things out. I have a variety of different sizes. These are so cute. I think I'm going to use my bigger medallions. Well, wait for a moment. These are all little bits that I have just cut out. And with this kind of a project, I may come back and add some buttons. I'm not sure. We'll see. This is the part where I obsess over placement. And I know it really doesn't matter. It's going to be fabulous, but I just want to make sure that I get it exactly right. Okay, so we'll start gluing stuff down. Yeah, we'll start gluing some stuff down, and then I can come back and add anything that I feel like might need to be added. Okay, so this is what fabric glue looks like. I'm using my Sherbonder Cool Shot Low Temperature Hot Gluing Device. And this one, these are like around $10. This one I used just with fabric glue, so I used a Sharpie to write fabric glue on it. And this is what a package of fabric glue sticks looks like. It does make it washable. These came, I ordered them from Amazon yesterday because I was completely out after doing my jeans. And these sticks are a little bit skinnier than what I have going on in my gluing device right now. So we'll see how that works or not. And let's just start with this flower right here. I'm just kind of laying my glue on the pieces of this doily where the crochet is thicker so it will disappear. I think I'm definitely going to want to do some buttons. And what I want to tell you about working with buttons, or you could do bling if you wanted, is that buttons can have a tendency to pop off of pillows or anything that's kind of getting bent. So I may use a combination of E6000 and this hot glue to fix those on. I think that would be the better. And this is where it is really good to make sure that you are using a low temperature hot glue so that you don't accidentally end up burning yourself. Aw, Linda said she just watched the replay of my paper bag bird's nest video. That was a fun one to make. Really fun. Okay, let's see if these skinnier glue sticks are going to work. That's what I have, so they got to. And for this, I'm going to put 2 layers on here. And I'm going to turn it slightly winky wonky. Yep, that looks cute. I need another one of these small ones. Let's see, can I cut one off of here somewhere? Or if I cut them all off? I've already cut them all off. Yes, I must have. Oh well. I'm also going to show you guys how to use my bow maker thing, which is right here. We're just going to use some drop cloth, some lace, some little bits of trim, and so forth. To me, the stenciling is fun. The embellishment this is even better. That's the part where I get really excited. And this will be my last wildflower and doily project for a little while, because I know not everybody loves wildflowers and doilies like I do. But if you missed the beginning, I was showing my jeans that I embellished with this same stencil design, but I did it in a almond, in a color called almond oil ink. And then I added some of these same doilies to it. And oh my gosh, these jeans turned out so cute. I cannot wait to wear them someplace besides at home to craft. I'll definitely be wearing them to my Bible study next week. Okay, so this is what I have so far. And it is pretty darn cute. What the heck? Let's add some buttons. Let me pull up some of my glue strings here real quick. All these pretty buttons. Okay, I know someone's going to ask me, where do I get my buttons? I just have been collecting for a long time, but frequent frequently I'll find a jar at, that's a big one, that would be pretty. Frequently I will find a jar of buttons at like a antique mall that I will grab. I am kind of frugal, so I'm always looking for a really good deal on them. There's a place when we go to visit our son in Oregon, in Sisters, that has, it's an antique mall, and there's a dealer there who has all kinds of buttons, so I always grab buttons while we're visiting our son out there. And you can order them on, this is the Grow Happy Thoughts stencil, Sherry, and I will be glad to get you a link if you would like. Okay, so this is just one of these little E6000 tubes of glue. I don't know where I got this from. Probably Hobby Lobby. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of this button right here before I add some hot glue to it. I love embellishing just about anything with vintage mother of pearl buttons. That's going to be pretty. Let's see. I love it when I get some mother of pearl buttons that came off of a garment. I guess in the olden days, I'm not sure exactly when, ladies used to conserve buttons, so when a garment was worn out, they would clip the buttons off of it and save the buttons for a future project. And they didn't always clip the threads off. And I don't know how you feel about that, but I love the threads. I think they add a ton of charm. So I never usually take the thread out of them. I know some people do. Especially if it's cream or white. That looks fabulous. And I'm using a combination of hot glue and E6000 on this project just to make these buttons a little more secure, because I know how they can have a tendency to want to come off. Oops. Oopsie. Get the Kleenex. Paper towel to wipe off my fingers. I'm just going to do a couple more buttons, and then we will, we'll do a couple more, and then we will do the ribbon. And I could have used the Grow Happy Thoughts part of this stencil on this project, but to be completely honest with you, I haven't used that part very much and I cannot find it. It's here somewhere. I have way more than my fair share of stencils, and they're pretty organized, but not 100%, and I just cannot put my fingers on it. Okay, this is precious. I could scatter some buttons here and there as well. Beautiful tote bag, awesome job. Thank you, Sherry. When did they stop using mother of pearl buttons? Or do they still use them? Yes, they still use them. They're often, these little ones are on men's button-down shirts, dress shirts. Ladies' sweaters and stuff have them, but they used to be really, really common. And they have an interesting, I think, story about what they're made out of. These are actually made out of seashells that are cut and carved. And yeah, anyways, okay. So let's just move this out of the way for a second and let me get my little bow maker out and we'll make something. Okay, so I have the mini Bodabra, and when I ordered this, it came with some of this stuff, which is like it's kind of like it's wired a little bit, but it's great to work with. So I took this piece out, and I'm just going to stick my little gold metallic thread through there. And then I was working on some pieces. Where did they go? Let me just look here. Where did they go? Okay, hang on. Okay. So I just have some little pieces of canvas duck that is torn, and then I have a variety of laces that I have pulled out. These are from Dollar Tree. This is Dollar Tree. And this is just plain old canvas duck. I want to just make something for one of these corners. I think that might be too big. Let's see. Okay, let's start with some of this lace. I think, how big do I want it to be? And everything will be trimmable if I don't like how I've done it. So you're just going to start cramming little bits of your lace in the center. And this is canvas duck. Cram it in there. And then let's use some of this. This is where it's good to just hang on to your extra little bits of this and that. And let's see what else do I have handy that I could use. Here's another piece of lace. We might as well throw that in there. This is a thinner canvas. Okay, and then you're going to take this little doodad and you're going to basically push your pieces down as far as you can get them to go and pull up your little gold thread or whatever you're using. This stuff is really handy. And tie a tight knot. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this out. I can tell already that I'm going to want these to be shorter. I'll just trim these back pieces right now. And then I'm going to take this little wire and tie it around the back. So let's tie it one more time. Trim this off. You can use any kind of ribbon, trim, whatever you would like to create one of these little stacked bows. Looks like this. Let's take a piece of something, some lace. A little piece of a sari. Put that around the center to hide the gold. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, I heat set this bag. I heat set the ink on it before I started embellishing it. So, how do you heat set? Basically, I just took a piece of parchment paper, laid that over the top of the design when it was fully dry, went over it with an iron, no steam at cotton for about 3 or 4 minutes, and that was it. And now it could be washed and everything. Okay, so I will fluff this and fiddle with it a little bit off camera. But I would basically put it right here. And I might add some bigger pieces to go behind it. And I may add some buttons. But what do you guys think? Isn't that pretty and real simple and different? You're not going to see everybody carrying a tote bag that has old doilies and vintage mother of pearl buttons on it, and I think that's what makes it wonderful. Where did I get the scrappy bow maker? I ordered this on Amazon, and I will dig up, I have a link for it, I will dig that up and put that in the comments. I'll also put a link for the stencil in case you want to go take a peek. This one I did with Gray Owl ink. The apron, which is not dry, the apron I did with black. And it's going to be really fabulous. We'll probably embellish it. It has the apron across the front, or the wildflowers across the front, just one. And then I used 2 placements of the flowers. The wildflowers against the bottom. And my jeans, I used, that's so ladylike, Heidi, I used an ink that is called Almond Oil. That's a great color on jeans. All right, well that's what I wanted to show you for right now. When I come back, probably tomorrow, if you're watching live, we'll finish the apron. I'll doll this up even probably a little more. I'll have lots of good ideas, and I will post pictures here in these comments as well as just on DIY Dreaming so that you can check it all out at your leisure and zoom in and look at everything in detail. Alrighty, have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for joining me. Oh, do a this or this. That's a heart. If you feel like it, and sprinkle, sprinkle. Linda says she loves my jeans. Aw, thank you. I'll have to have my husband get a picture because it's hard to show you. I put the ribbon trim on both legs, and I did add some glue to the cuff so that they won't fall down. When I cut doilies, do I have a way so that they don't fray? Yes, that's a great question. Okay, if you look at something like this, these little medallions, I think were crocheted and then they were attached to this larger piece. So if you just pull them apart slightly, you can see the little bit of thread, and you can tell exactly where to snip it, and then if there are any little bits to pull out, you want to be sitting down with your glasses on and just pay attention. And these were not difficult. This will be permanent because I used the permanent type of hot glue. I still don't know that I would actually wash this, but I used E6000 and hot glue so that the buttons don't pop off, and this will totally be a fabulous tote bag to use. Alrighty.